Hello darling, this is Kaylee here and I'm excited to show you my December 2016 album. I had so much fun with this one. I had my family here from South Africa, we had a visitor from America, we had visitors from Netherlands, we had a whole bunch of visitors, and this was a really good December, and I'm so happy to have it all documented. For this, I used a kit from Gotham Blue, their December Memories kit. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore, which is such a tragedy because that's always been the kit of my choice every year. But yeah, so this album came with, the page protectors came with a whole bunch of cards and stuff, and then besides that I used my stash. I also wanted to use a lot of vintage books and add some things that were not scrapbooking into it, and I'm really happy with how it looks. So this is the cover, and you can see, and I've got there the vintage music sheets. They're all German and beautiful. I have a vellum layer with gold wreath transparency and my favorite Elvis of all time, and I see here that I did not take the plastic off the transparency beforehand. And you can see that it's all wrinkling very well because I just used double-sided tape, but I'm happy with it. I might go back and change it, you know, if it doesn't stay looking relatively decent, then I'll go back with some wet glue, but I really don't like wet glue, which is why I didn't use it. Then the spine, all of my December dailies have the year on it on the spine. I didn't start before 2000. So I don't need to worry about the 20 part at the top. And I remember this was left over at the end and I loved it so much that I just stapled it on over there. And you can see that this was a full December. This thing is not closing properly, it is sitting like this. It makes it difficult to turn in the beginning, but yeah, this was chock full of memories. The first page, I kept it pretty neutral. I used this from my stash. I assume this was from my stash. I can't really remember exactly what was what. This was a year ago, and I was heavily pregnant back then. So, these stars are also from the kit. And I just thought that this was a nice neutral way of starting it. And a nice little second cover page, because cover pages are my absolute favorite. And I've got the back of one of the sheets. Let's see. Yep, the back of one of the sheets from the kit. December. You can see that this is not from the December daily. This is a Maggie Holmes paper and some vintage paper from my stash. And because I'm a cheap ass, I keep the back of the vintage paper and I just make it in one. This is also Maggie Holmes, and this is the back of this one. Then I kept a kind of like a contents page over here, and I've just got each day and what we did. And because I live in Germany, which is queen of the Christmas markets, this is mainly the names of all the Christmas markets, except you can see here Jennifer Leaves, Home, okay, Buying the Tree. So those are not Christmas markets, but all the places with names, those are Christmas markets. Every year we try and make a really big deal out of visiting the Christmas markets. And this is the first one. Oh, there's the number there. So since I had Jennifer here, who is an amazing hand letterer, I forced her to handwrite a bunch of my titles. And she wrote it in gold directly on the photos, and it looks so beautiful. Very first Christmas market on the 1st of December, or maybe not the first Christmas market, but on the 1st of December we went to Heidelberg because it is Christmas magic over there. And there are a few photos. There's Jennifer, my husband, my dog. Then a nice big picture for day 2 when we went to the Netherlands. And this is a picture of some frost in the morning. And I don't know what bush, fruit tree thing this is, flowers. but it looks really Christmassy, especially with the frost on it. Then on the 3rd of December we went to Den Haag, and this is Steph, who is pregnant this December, which I am so excited about. I assume that there'll be a photo of me pregnant later, but I was massive, absolutely massive. I loved these alphas. These alphas were the best. I think that they did not come with the kit, if I remember correctly. The kit was a traveler's notebook kit as well, so I cut down a lot of the papers. But I really like the color scheme, you know, the golds, the pinks, the greens, everything just worked out exactly the way I like it. And what I did with these big photos is I tried to keep them not detailed. So you'll see there, this has a lot of white space, this does too, this big picture, and I'm sure the rest will too, but that tends to be the way that I take photos, so it makes sense for me, and it worked out very well, and I was quite happy with the result. Has some more pages. Not everything is Christmas related, but I think like with it being winter and us all in our scarves and the dog wearing a little outfit because he gets cold, I mean, I think that shows the Christmas bits. And it's so nice being in a country that celebrates Christmas during its winter compared to South Africa, who has Christmas in summer. So it's very exciting for me. It's still very exciting for me. Here's that is Schwarze Piet, which is a Dutch tradition that's currently under heavy ethical questions happening there. And there is us playing Splendor, and this board game has changed my life. For the ones where I didn't have a big picture, or it didn't really make sense to put a full page in, I just did something like this, and I hand-lettered that myself. Well, hand-lettered, I mean I just wrote it out in cursive. And this, I hate how albums do that. Okay, yeah, I kept this very calm compared to last year's one. I think, not last year, the previous year. I'm excited for this year's one because I want to do a lot more journaling, so I want to know how I'm going to make sure that things stay minimalist. On our way back from the Netherlands, we stopped in Aachen, and there's some more of Jennifer's hand lettering. This was a beautiful market. It's the first time going to it. I saved the little pamphlet from it, and then I just attached it to one of the traveler's notebook sized cards from the kit. It's not even stuck properly, it's just all I punched a hole into it, and I just added this with this brilliant paper clip here. Then this is a nice little grid paper, and this is from Paisley Press, and I just used it to separate it. On this page we are eating food, and on this page is more like the detail shots. I kept this from my husband's High Summer Ronin. Those are chestnuts, okay. And this is weird, but I'm gonna smell it. Nope, it doesn't smell like them. It smells like chestnuts anymore. But this is the actual packet, and I always make sure that I don't scrumple it, or like I make sure that it stays special because I know that I'm going to keep it. On the 6th we went to Speyer, and I didn't actually get too many good photos from there, so I've just left it, and I've put in this picture of Jennifer in action painting the most beautiful art journal page ever. Then 7th, and we went back to Heidelberg. On the 8th we went to a spa, and it was beautiful, obviously. On the 9th we took the train to Mainz. Did I say on the 9th? This is a completely plain page, and I used the back of one of these pages Oh yeah, it's gingham. I don't like this. So I just used the back, which was plain lined paper. Added this traveler's notebook size one from it, obviously a doily, and then a little embellishment. For this one, these are little photos from mines, and I added all the gold foil transparency elements. And for example, for these ones I didn't attach it, but for this one I did because I wanted to make sure it was kept in, so I actually stapled it to the outside of it, and you can see there. And again, are these little, no, okay. And then what I do on the back, if I do something like this one, or if I do something like this one, okay, this one's got vellum, so it's a bit easier, but this way it's completely transparent. I make sure that both sides are pretty. You know, if this is going to have photos here at the back, this is going to look very, very busy and not good at all. So on the back, some more pictures, very simple page there. We even did this on the same day as mine's. And I just used the same floral elements, the floral paper, and I made sure that it lined up with this red and pink one. So I got the pink matchy, and I kept the ticket from the Christmas market because you had to freaking pay to go to this Christmas market. This over here, if I remember correctly, yeah, this I printed onto vellum, and I just used it kind of as a washi tape accent from when I trimmed it on another piece, or from when I trimmed it on that, on this. So that goes there, that went there. And now a lot of the times these types of things, they are not pretty. I mean, you can see this is not very pretty, and it makes it very busy. If you take that away, then this looks immediately less busy. I'm also not a big fan of black, so I just added the doily to make it a little bit lighter. But I mean, sometimes I will keep them but hide them a little bit, or I'll add elements over it, kind of thing. And there's a picture of the four of us. On the 10th, we went to the most Christmassy Christmas market in Bad Wimpfen. And we got this picture. Then Jennifer left, and this is a card from her that was so beautiful, and it matched this album beautifully. So I just put it in here inside, and I stapled it. And then the back shows as well. Here's a vintage book. That's when we bought our Christmas tree. On the 14th and on the 15th, nothing happened. So they just get a pretty page of paper. This is from Paisley Press, and I printed this onto vellum. Added some stars. On the 16th, we put up our Christmas tree. And on the 17th, my family came from South Africa. And since Jennifer had left by that stage, I got her to hand letter on some vellum all the places that we would probably be visiting, or that I knew that we would be visiting. I knew that we'd be going to Schwetzingen because it's got a pink castle, firstly, hello, and secondly because my son was going to be born in that town in February, so I wanted to take my parents to that town. This is just some journaling cards, and then I put this over it. And I got the pink from the pink castle in there. On the 18th, I did my own hand lettering because I didn't get Jennifer to write it. Again, hand lettering, cursive writing, like my script is nothing like Jennifer's, so don't judge. This is a postcard that we got from one of the wine tasting places we went to. So yeah, this holiday I really made sure to take all the ephemera, like anything that I could to remember it. This, yep, that is from One Little Bird. That's my family. This is the town that we used to live in, and I love this tree that comes up every year with the backdrop of that church. On the 20th, my best friend surprised me and visited me. I was so happy, obviously. And we went to Baden-Baden just to be fancy. Oh, the reason we went to Baden-Baden was because we picked her up in France, and then Baden-Baden was right there. And I saved the little flyer from the Christmas market, and you can see I tore it off from the rest. So the other bit was not that pretty or not that interesting. So yeah. And there's my best friend. And this is a little font token. It is, if you take your Christmas market mug and you return it with your font, then you get your money back. Otherwise, you can keep your mug. And they usually cost about €2. So, I mean, I've been collecting them every year now, and now I've got about 60 mugs, which is getting a little bit ridiculous because they're all from different Christmas markets, not from the same. But then I realized, okay, now I need to store 60 mugs. And we don't have a huge place that we live in. Definitely not a place that we could put a shelf of Christmas mugs in. I mean, it was fun because every Christmas we take the mugs out to, those are the mugs we drink from. But you know, we don't need 60. So I don't know what we're going to do this year because I'm going to want to keep them, but on the 21st, we did something that required journaling, so I journaled. This was the day that I was just completely tired of being pregnant and tired with all the guests and all that stuff. So I sent the woman, my mother, my sister, and my best friend to the spa, and I sent my husband and my father to the museum, and Griffin and I relaxed at home. On the 22nd, we had my baby shower, which was not Christmassy, but you know, that happened, and that was lovely. And so that went in there. This, oh my gosh, this page makes me so freaking happy. Jennifer hand-lettered that, and she made this beautiful wreath around it. And this photo came later, and this photo was taken by my dad. And he is learning photography, so this is a really special page for me, even though, you know, there's no people in it or anything. There are people in it because it's my dad's photo and it's Jennifer's art. This is a page from Paisley Press, and since this was a terrible, terrible photo, but a very special one with all of us there, you can see my sister's got like her beanie and her scarf around her face because she's freezing. Everyone looks freezing. Very bad photo taken with a cell phone, but yeah, so that's why I put it into a template. Then I kept a whole bunch of stuff from Garmisch-Partenkirchen, which is where we stayed, which is the most magical place to stay for Christmas. So if you ever get the opportunity, you should definitely stay there. This was a map that came in one of the tourist pamphlets. Here is another map that opens up. On our first day there, we had a meal at this place, and I kept the receipt. It was delicious. I don't know if it was because I was pregnant or because it actually was delicious, but yeah. And then I put this cute little paper clip that I've been saving for something special. This, you can see like I stuck a lot of the stuff onto the actual pockets, which is nice. I thought that this was such a cute little Christmassy, German Christmassy photo. So that went there. And it had the whole menu there. There's Griffin playing in snow for the first time that year. So I added this little transparency over it. This is our hotel receipt. Is a receipt? Yeah. And the little cards that come if you stay in that town that allow you to go on the bus and things like that and give you discounts and stuff. You can see there. This is from the first night that we ate there, which was Italian. And that's our hotel room, very pretty. Then on the 24th, we went to the most amazing gorge. It was so beautiful. Yeah, and heavily snowed in. Very magical for someone who grew up in summer Christmas. Griffin made the best friend, and he ran around in the snow with his little friend, which is adorable. and I didn't manage to go through the gorge because of my pregnancy, but my family did, and my dad took a few pictures. And here you can see that I'm actually pregnant. I mean, again, this is a blurry picture that T took. Can't really, I just look like really big there. And this is, I can see, this is the one little bird. This is one of her Christmas kits. And you can see that I really like this square grid layout with one element over here. I kind of do this a lot in this album. There's my dad taking photos. I think that was a big theme for the weekend. And my mom and sister being really cold. T and I playing board games while we waited for them. Again, because of pregnancy. Another theme. And this was Christmas Eve, where we had... Oh, no, wait. Gosh, sorry. Yeah, this was Christmas Eve, where we had Christmas biscuits, Christmas teas. My mother had glühwein. I obviously could not have glühwein being pregnant. Oh, they gave me Kinderpunsch, which is non-alcoholic glühwein. This was our menu for Christmas Eve, which was insane. Usually we eat at home, but... Oh, we ate... Sorry. This is the menu from Christmas Eve. Oh, this was the schedule in the hotel, and this is the menu over here, which I sneakily saved. You know, this is what husbands are for, because they've always got the pockets and all of that. This was delicious. This is funny because my sister's a vegetarian, and she asked for what vegetarian options she had, and they were like, oh, there's chicken. I mean, why do you need a vegetarian option? Nice little small town. Then the next day we went to the Alpspitz. And I like these two photos of T and I, my dad took. Kind of see that I'm pregnant there. T is pregnant with a griffin. I mean, look at this view. So gorgeous. My parents. This is not from a Christmas kit, as you can see. This was when we stood on a platform that went over the mountains, which is insane. Like, I'm so scared of heights, like a typical human. But I knew that I wanted to get a from where I stand picture, so I completely braved it, and I went there and I couldn't even look at the picture while I was taking it. Tickets from there. This is when we just ordered coffee from room service because we were exhausted, and we stayed up playing board games. And on the 27th we went to the epitome of magic and excitement in German tourism, Neuschwanstein Castle. My dad took this picture. It was really nice having another photographer there. Usually I'm the only one taking photos. And we went to another little castle made by the same king. I really like this king. Not because he built Neuschwanstein, which is obviously one of the reasons, but he was a bit crazy, and I think like his personality really appeals to me. It excites me because it's very non-German, very strange. And when we were at the castle, we had so many tourists stop and ask us to take photos with Griffin, and I got a photo of one of them. Like, there were like hordes of people taking photos of Griffin. It's amazing. And then we stayed in a different place for one night. And then my dad is being very not excited about boiled eggs. We went to the Eibsee, which is a beautiful lake. Okay, and then we drove home. Once we were home, we spent a lot of time sleeping. We went to IKEA. My dad was exhausted. Everyone was exhausted. It was a very exhausting time. And then we ended the year with cooking at home. We couldn't bear to leave the house again. We all made our like part in the meal. It was really nice doing that as a family. This is a little postcard that I found and I knew that I had to go in. And there is the end. And I just ended it with a photo of T and I, just us two for the last time. And this is the castle from the town that we used to live in. In here I added our Christmas cards and yeah, just Christmas cards and beautiful things that people sent us. Like, look at that. That is amazing. That is so pretty. I added that embellishment at the end there. And that is my Christmas album, my December daily from 2016. I hope that you'll be doing a 2017 December daily, and I hope that you have a lot of fun documenting your memories.